Election day is Tuesday. We may, for the third time in 24 years, end up with an election in which the candidate who gets the most votes in the popular vote does not assume the presidency. Loses the popular vote, wins the vote in the Electoral College. That may happen, again, for the third time in our last 8 presidential elections. Senator King, do you think it's time to scrap the Electoral College?
Yes. It's a gun pointed at the head of democracy. I went back and read the Federalist where Hamilton justifies the Electoral College. It's never worked the way it was designed. It was supposed to be a kind of council of elders that would then pick the best person as president. It immediately turned into much more of a political kind of process. And the fact that, as you say, we potentially could have a third time in this century where the person who didn't get the most votes ends up president. That doesn't correspond with what any of us learned in kindergarten. The most votes wins. And it has the process now. I mean, it's ridiculous. We're watching this election and nobody's paying attention to Maine or California or New York. All the attention is to 6 or 7 states. The Electoral College should be abolished, but short of that, we did amend the Electoral Count Act to clean up some of the problems there that gave us January 6th.
All right, Demi Kouzounas, should the Electoral College be scrapped?
Well, if that's the case, then I guess us Mainers don't decide who's going to be president. We don't have too much say. New York and California will make all the decisions for us. And then the Rust Belts, it was all there done so that the Rust Belt had a say. Because they had a lot of farmland, but they didn't have a lot of population. I think it was meant to be the way it is. I think it was, the Electoral College vote is meant to allow some voice in these states that do so much for us that don't have the population. Absolutely not.
David Costello?
We should eliminate the Electoral College. It's obscenely undemocratic for the person who gets the most votes in a representative democracy to actually lose. We should go to direct popular vote with ranked choice voting when you have more than 2 or 3 candidates, when more than 2 candidates. The other thing, check my reform agenda at CostelloForSenate.com, because there are a lot of other reforms we need to undertake to really make our government more accountable and democratic.
Jason Cherry.
I would not get rid of the Electoral College unless there was some sort of backup that protected small and medium-sized states. So I was a former legal instructor. I read James Madison's notes. I taught the new agents constitutional criminal law. The Electoral College was meant to balance the powers between small and medium states and other populations. And until that balance of power changes, I agree with Demi and I respectfully disagree with David and Senator King, because we need that as Mainers. That is our little bit of power that we have inherited from this Constitution. So I would not.